You wake up, stumble to the kitchen, and pour that steaming cup of coffee. The aroma hits you, the warmth spreads through your hands, and with that first sip, you feel unstoppable. It's your ritual, your little morning boost, the fuel that gets you moving. But here's the truth most people never hear. That very cup of coffee, the one you swear by every single morning, might be quietly harming your heart. Even if you eat perfectly, exercise daily, and sleep like a baby, drinking coffee at the wrong time can send your blood pressure skyrocketing, strain your arteries, and make your heart work harder than it should, without you ever feeling a thing. In just a moment, I'm going to show you a simple timing trick that could save your heart, plus 2 powerful habits that let you enjoy your coffee guilt-free. This isn't the generic advice you've heard before. It's something so few people know, even many doctors overlook it. By the end of this video, you'll see your morning cup of coffee in a completely new light. Coffee isn't just a drink, it's a global obsession. For many of us over 45, that morning cup is more than a beverage. It's a lifeline. It signals the start of the day, gives us energy, and feels like a reward after a long night. But here's the thing most people don't realize. As we age, our bodies stop responding the way they used to. What used to wake us up without consequence in our 30s might now be silently stressing our hearts in our 50s, 60s, and beyond. The very ritual that makes you feel alive could be adding unseen strain to your arteries, quietly increasing your risk of heart issues. Today, I'm going to reveal the hidden truth behind that morning cup of coffee, why timing, pairing, and even the nutrients you take with it can make the difference between protecting your heart and unknowingly harming it. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly when to sip your coffee, what to eat alongside it, and simple daily habits that safeguard your heart, all while letting you enjoy the ritual you love. This isn't about giving up coffee or changing your life drastically. It's about making smarter choices that protect your heart without sacrificing your morning routine. So, if you've ever felt jittery, noticed palpitations, or wondered if your coffee habit is safe, pay close attention, because what I'm about to share could completely change the way you start your day. Let's start with the obvious. Coffee contains caffeine, a powerful stimulant that jumps straight into your nervous system the moment it hits your bloodstream. That means your heart starts beating faster, your blood pressure rises, and your arteries suddenly have to work harder. For someone in their 30s, whose arteries are still flexible and resilient, this might feel harmless or even energizing. But for adults over 45, whose arteries naturally stiffen with age, or who may already have borderline hypertension, this sudden surge can be dangerous, quietly stressing the heart over time. You've probably heard the reassuring headlines, "Coffee is good for your heart." Some studies even suggest that moderate coffee consumption can reduce your risk of heart disease. But here's the twist that most people miss. The benefits only apply if coffee is consumed at the right time of day and in the right context. Pouring that cup first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, is exactly where most people go wrong. That's the moment when caffeine can do more harm than good. Take Margaret, for example. She's a 62-year-old retiree who loved her 8 a.m. cup of black coffee. She exercised faithfully, walked daily, and ate a balanced diet. On the surface, she was doing everything right. But over time, she noticed her morning blood pressure creeping upward, and she began feeling occasional heart palpitations. Alarmed, she went to her doctor, who ran a series of tests. The surprising culprit? Her early morning coffee habit. Drinking caffeine during her cortisol peak was spiking her blood pressure and stressing her heart in ways she hadn't realized. And this brings us to cortisol, your body's natural stress hormone. Cortisol rises sharply in the morning to help you wake up, boost alertness, and get your day started. Normally, this is a good thing, but when you add coffee on top of that natural peak, it amplifies the stress on your heart. Blood pressure rises even higher, your heart works overtime, and your arteries face repeated strain. That wake-up boost you rely on every morning might actually be a hidden risk for your cardiovascular health. This combination, caffeine plus peak cortisol, creates a perfect storm. Day after day, week after week, it subtly pushes your heart and arteries to their limits. You might not feel it immediately, but over time, these repeated morning spikes can increase the risk of arrhythmias, hypertension, and other heart-related problems. And the scary part? Most people are completely unaware this is happening because the effects are invisible until they become serious. Here's the hidden truth that most people never hear. It's not coffee itself that's the enemy. It's when and how you consume it. Research from the Journal of Clinical Cardiology has shown that drinking caffeine during peak cortisol hours, roughly between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., can temporarily raise blood pressure by 10 to 15 points and increase the risk of heart arrhythmias. That spike may seem small, but over weeks and months, it quietly adds stress to your cardiovascular system. Think about it like this. Your heart is already working hard in the morning just to wake you up, pump blood, and get your body moving. Adding coffee on top of that is like asking a marathon runner to sprint uphill while carrying a heavy backpack. Day after day, week after week, your heart is being pushed to its limits in a way it wasn't designed for, and the cumulative effects can be serious, especially if you're over 45. There's another hidden factor that few people consider: stomach acid. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach triggers the production of acid in your digestive system, which can lead to irritation and inflammation in the gut. And chronic gut inflammation doesn't just affect digestion, it's increasingly linked to cardiovascular disease, so that harmless morning ritual might be quietly adding to systemic inflammation, making it harder for your arteries to relax and your heart to function optimally. Let me give you a real-world example. Robert, a 55-year-old accountant, had been drinking his first coffee at 6:30 a.m. every morning for decades. He felt energized, focused, and thought he was invincible. But over time, he began noticing spikes in his blood pressure and occasional chest discomfort after his morning cup. Concerned, he started experimenting with his routine. He moved his coffee to mid-morning, around 10 a.m., and paired it with a protein-rich snack, like eggs or Greek yogurt. The results were almost immediate. His blood pressure stabilized, the chest discomfort disappeared, and he felt more sustained energy throughout the day without stressing his heart. The hidden truth is undeniable. It's not just what you drink, it's when you drink it. Your heart is far more fragile than most people realize. And as we age, timing matters just as much as moderation. That morning cup of coffee isn't a simple, harmless ritual. It's a potentially high-stakes habit that, if mismanaged, can quietly chip away at your heart health. But the good news is, a few simple adjustments can completely change the outcome. Now that we've uncovered the hidden risks, let's focus on the solution. The good news? You don't have to give up coffee. With the right timing, pairing, and heart-supporting habits, you can enjoy your favorite cup without stressing your cardiovascular system. Here are 3 powerful strategies that make all the difference. First, shift your coffee to mid-morning. Aim for roughly 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. after your natural cortisol peak has passed. This simple adjustment takes the pressure off your heart, prevents unnecessary spikes in blood pressure, and still gives you the caffeine boost you love. Margaret, our 62-year-old retiree, and Robert, the 55-year-old accountant, both made this change and saw dramatic improvements in their blood pressure readings, energy levels, and overall heart comfort. Suddenly, their morning ritual became safe and even beneficial. Second, never drink coffee on an empty stomach. Pair your coffee with a small protein or healthy fat. Options like a handful of almonds, Greek yogurt, or a boiled egg work perfectly. Why? This slows the absorption of caffeine, reduces acid spikes in the gut, and stabilizes blood sugar levels. Studies published in the American Journal of Nutrition confirm that pairing coffee with protein improves sustained energy while minimizing the cardiovascular stress that comes from drinking it alone. So instead of a risky jolt, you get a smooth, heart-friendly boost. Third, consider adding heart-protective compounds. Magnesium and CoQ10 are 2 nutrients that can shield your heart from the oxidative stress caffeine can trigger. Magnesium, taken at night, helps relax arteries and lower blood pressure, while CoQ10 supports energy production in heart cells, keeping your cardiovascular system resilient. These aren't just supplements. They're like insurance policies for your heart, especially for anyone over 50 who still wants to enjoy their morning coffee without compromise. The mistake most people make is thinking coffee alone is harmless. They ignore timing, skip pairing it with food, and overlook supporting nutrients. Over time, these small oversights quietly erode cardiovascular resilience. But with these 3 adjustments, mid-morning timing, pairing with protein, and supporting your heart with magnesium and CoQ10, you can turn your daily coffee from a potential risk into a safe, energizing ritual that supports both your heart and your day. Now, let's talk about where most people go dangerously wrong with their coffee habits. First, never drink coffee first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. This common practice spikes your blood pressure, triggers stress hormone surges, and irritates your digestive system. Over time, these repeated morning shocks quietly wear down your arteries and increase strain on your heart, without you feeling any immediate symptoms. Second, avoid excessive caffeine later in the day. Coffee after 3 p.m. might not make you jittery, but it can still interfere with your sleep cycles. Poor sleep is one of the biggest hidden threats to heart health. Your heart and blood vessels perform their repair work primarily at night, during deep, uninterrupted sleep. When late caffeine disrupts this process, your heart loses critical recovery time, and damage can accumulate silently over the years. Third, don't rely solely on coffee for energy. Many adults over 50 turn to coffee as a crutch to push through fatigue caused by nutrient deficiencies, poor sleep, or stress. Ignoring the root causes forces your heart to work harder than it should, creating strain that compounds over time. Coffee should be part of a balanced approach, paired with proper nutrition, regular movement, and stress management. Otherwise, you're asking your heart to do double duty, and eventually it pays the price. These 3 mistakes, early empty stomach coffee, late day caffeine, and using coffee as a crutch, are where most adults unknowingly harm their hearts. Recognizing and avoiding them is the first step toward a safer, smarter, and more heart-friendly coffee routine. To recap, your morning cup of coffee isn't evil, but how and when you drink it makes all the difference for your heart. Timing matters, pairing matters, and supporting your cardiovascular system matters. Shift your coffee to mid-morning, always pair it with a small protein or healthy fat, and consider adding magnesium and CoQ10 to protect your heart from long-term stress. These small adjustments can transform a potential risk into a safe, energizing ritual you can enjoy every day. Here's a bonus tip that many people overlook. Take a brief 5-minute walk after your coffee. Just a few minutes of gentle movement helps lower the spike in blood pressure, improves circulation, and gives your body a natural energy boost without relying solely on caffeine. Margaret, our 62-year-old retiree, incorporated this simple habit into her routine, and within weeks, her morning palpitations disappeared entirely. It's a tiny change with an outsized impact on heart health. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these habits have you been getting wrong? Are you sipping your coffee too early, too late, or on an empty stomach? Drop your answers in the comments below. Sharing your experience could help someone else protect their heart today, and it might even inspire you to make a simple adjustment that changes your mornings for the better. And if you thought this was eye-opening, wait until my next video. I'll reveal the hidden morning habit that silently ages your arteries faster than sugar or salt. It's a common routine nearly everyone does, and understanding it could completely change the way you start your day, protecting your heart and keeping your energy levels steady for decades to come. Don't miss it. You'll never look at your morning routine the same way again.